read the Word of God, pray, and allow ourselves to be a tool for Him and be available to what He has for us to do.
Hey you, did you know he's coming back?
I'm going to just tell you this story about whenever I was a teenager. Me and my brother, we had these bunk beds, and we shared a room, my little brother, and one night, we'd get in there at night. We had these Luke Skywalker glow-in-the-dark lightsabers, and this is back in the 70s, or maybe it was closer to, it was in the 70s. And we would get in there and we would fake fight demons and stuff like that, because there was just always this sense of something there, and we'd be scared at night. And we started kind of coming aware of things, not just through just life in general, but my grandmother would always tell us these stories, and it would scare the crap out of us. We would fight demons at night, and then we'd go to bed. And I remember one night I asked Wallace, this is my little brother's name's Wallace, I asked him, I said, man, how do you go to sleep so fast? And he said, well, I just pray and ask Jesus to give me a dream about him, and then I go to sleep. And I always found that profound. Well, one day I came home, and I was quite a bit older. I want to say I was, like 14 or 13, and I was going to bed, and I was scared. It felt like something was in there, and I was so scared that I basically went to bed. Wallace was already asleep. I went to bed. I pulled the covers around me and just buried my face in the underneath the covers, because I was just scared. There was some kind of presence there, and I knew it, and I was scared. And I started praying, or I prayed to the Lord. I don't even know what I prayed, but I prayed something. And here in a little bit, there was this hand that was so large that it covered my entire back. It would have had to been like 5 or 6 sizes bigger than my hand. It literally, I could feel the fingers go all the way up to my neck, all the way down to the middle of my back, the thumb, the pinky finger. It pushed down on me, and I was so scared I couldn't move. I was absolutely scared to death. It pushed down hard enough. It wasn't trying to harm me, but it pushed down hard enough that the bed started creaking, and I wasn't moving. This bed was like that, because they made a lot of noise. And I was so scared I couldn't turn. I finally got enough courage up and realized, and I said, Lord, I guess I need to turn around, because if I don't, I'll be stuck here all night, So I finally turned, and of course, I felt that thing dissipate, and I knew it was gone, but I didn't know if it was just sitting there looking at me. And I realized that I really believe that the Lord had sent an angel of some sort to calm me, because I was scared of whatever, because I don't think I ever felt that presence in there ever again, whatever it was, in our house. When my brother, he moved to Colorado, this was very interesting too, because I was old enough. I was over 15. I know that because I was working and I was doing the laundry. No, you don't need in here. I was doing the laundry, and my brother had been in Colorado for a while, and I put all of the blankets up. I washed blankets and stuff and towels, and I put them up on our couch. Sorry, I can't think. I'm not having the best day, but anyway, I put them on our couch, and they were stacked up. And I had the remote to the TV, and this was like back then, this was a fairly new TV. It had a remote, We used to have to get up and turn the dang channel. So I was carrying that remote around, so I wouldn't have to get up and go click the channel. So I had this remote setting on the covers on top. And I was sitting there and I looked up and 666 just posted on the screen. And back then they had the channel that came up, you know, like the green channel that came up on the corner. And it scared me because something was wrong in my spirit, and I was praying about stuff at that time. I was like, you know, starting to kind of figure out what was going on in the world, and I was praying about it. And I called my brother and I said, "Hey, Wallace, guess what just happened to me?" And I told him, and he goes, "Man, I just called this number you can call, and it's like the devil's number." And he said, you listen to it, and it's nothing but all these people screaming and stuff. And that's the weirdest thing. Have you ever heard of anything like that? That's the weirdest thing I've ever heard of in my life. But at the very same time he called that number, that 666 came across the screen. And I'm over here looking behind me because I had a neighbor that I thought was pulling a stunt on me. I never could see anybody behind me, and it was just such a weird coincidence that my brother had been messing around. Like, he started messing around in things he shouldn't at that point in time, and I called him. And at that time, you know, I really missed him because we were young and we pretty much got split up, and when he went up to Colorado, it just like changed him a lot.
Coming back for those who love him, to take them home to paradise.